My name is Louis Platani. I'm a retired police sergeant from the Vineland City Police Department in New Jersey, and this is my retired canine partner, Agir. Agir is a German Shepherd. He comes from the Netherlands, and we were paired together in December of 2013. Agir is trained in both patrol and narcotics. He's patrol-wise, he detects human odor, tracking, apprehension. Everything has to do with a drive. So his greatest strength was his nose. There's nothing that compares to a dog's nose. Our typical day at work, me and Agir would get up in the morning, primarily day shift at the time. As soon as he saw my uniform on, he knew what time it was, and it was time to go to work. And he knew what time it was when he came home. Getting into police work, I always wanted to become a canine officer. It was one of the things I sought out to do. Little did I know getting partnered with such an extraordinary dog would be life-changing. What he means to me is the fact that I'm able to spend every single day with my wife and kids because he brought me home safe. Agir absolutely loved being in the spotlight. So National Night Out was one of his favorites. We would go out there and he would get to go do his thing, jumping out of the car and run down after the guy with the sleeve. He loved going to school demonstrations. I would bring him to all these elementary schools in town when they were reading about police dogs and police canines. I would show them a real police canine, and the kids would come up and be able to pet him, which was really amazing that he was such a headstrong dog that during work he just knew, I need to go, don't approach me. But in a school setting, he knew, all right, these kids are all my friends. During Agir's time on the road, we were paired up. We helped the U.S. Marshals, FBI, DEA, state police, and surrounding jurisdictions here, both for narcotics and for patrol purposes. Some of the incidents that stand out in my mind are back in March of 2015, Agir and I were on the road and I encountered a subject where we ended up getting into a physical altercation. That subject was able to actually get upper hand on me and was able to grab my handgun with both of his hands. Agir was let go out of our car and he came immediately to my aid, apprehended the suspect, and was able to actually help take one of his hands off of my handgun. I tried everything I could, and it wasn't until Agir showed up that I was able to actually break free from the suspect, and we were ultimately able to put him in handcuffs. Another incident that comes to mind is back in September of 2016. Me and Agir were working overtime shift, and during that time, we heard on the radio a struggle with a couple of our officers. It's probably one of the hardest things I ever heard on the radio was hearing them screaming for help. I immediately jumped in my police car with Agir. Another officer jumped in with us. We drove directly to the residence, and as we pulled up, the sergeant was on duty, called for a canine. Without hesitation, I grabbed Agir by his black collar and ran into the residence. As I was walking into the residence, one of the officers that was involved in the struggle was stabbed in the face. He was walking out of the residence covered in blood. I immediately went into the bathroom with Agir and saw them fighting on the ground with the suspect. I gave Agir the command to apprehend, which he did, at which time they were able to put handcuffs on the suspect. And that's one of the awards that he got from the state PBA for a unit citation for his actions while on duty.
There it is.
3-8, call 1 now.
Disregard, I got a gun on the backtrack. Look at that. Good job, bud.
Guy over there.
Good job. That's a good boy.
I got you tomorrow.
That's a good boy. Yeah, good boy. That's a good boy. Stay with that. I'm going to go bring him back. What a good boy. You're a good boy. That's a good boy, good boy, good boy. You found it.
Getting the Distinguished Service Medal means a great deal. It finally shows how wonderful his career was and the impact that he had in our community and in my life. And if he only knew exactly what this award meant, it would probably mean a whole lot to him too, but he was just doing his job. That's all he ever asked for, was just to do his job.
Canine Agir retired in August of 2022 after 9 faithful years of service. And tonight we are so very proud to award Canine Agir with the Animals in War and Peace Distinguished Service Medal number 9. Congratulations, Agir, for your distinguished service with the Vineland, New Jersey Police Department. Such a good boy.